Good afternoon. It is Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday evening really. It's late. First break I've had today. 5:30. 5:30. I'm back with Tinker today. Tinker's reading. We haven't seen Tinker for the whole of the weekend or Monday, Tuesday, because she goes to school. Oh God, who knew? So Tinker is reading today. What have we got to cover off as far as we've been having? You don't even know about this. Since Saturday, we've been doing quiz questions, and I cannot remember what yesterday's quiz question was. Let me think. So I can't currently answer yesterday's question because I need to think. Right, I should have reminded myself. The day before was twisting by the pool. I can't remember what the answer was. I can't remember what the question was. So tomorrow's one, I will answer two questions in the kind of like the same answer. Then it'll come to halfway through this. I'm sure by the end of this I will put it in. Sorry, it's not terribly prepared. Today's quiz question, there will be a magic eye picture attached to the very end of this video. So after this video, hang on to the very end bit. We will go ping and a magic eye picture up. So your question will be, what is the magic eye picture showing you? It's an animal.
So basically what you have to do is you have to zoom in like that and then slowly, really slowly zoom back up.
Oh right. Oh okay. No, that is working. Yeah. No, I see
Like that.
what you mean. Yeah. That is. Yeah. That's exactly right. So you'll have to.
Yeah, but you have to go. For some people, you can do it quickly, but then some people it has to be slow.
You're right.
Most people clearly have to be slow, but then Molly apparently it can just go like this.
Yeah. So you'll have to kind of freeze frame the video, and then kind of like hold it there, and as Emily says, hold it up to kind of like to your eyes,
Really
and then really slowly move it away. And the question is, what is the picture showing you? It's not a trick or anything like that. It's just what they used to call a magic eye thing. So work out what the animal it is. You can have a supplementary question, especially for the Hardwicks. What's the film? This relates obviously to the film that was in quiz question number 1, but a big fan of this particular film, so a supplementary question of what film does this relate to? Yeah. And I still can't think what yesterday's question was. It's really irritating me. It'll come to me in a minute. Can I think? We've had how many legs? We've had... Nope, too boring for people. I can't remember what it is. I'll have 2 answers tomorrow. Right, we are back with the Adventures of the Wishing Chair. The children have rescued Chinky. They're in the process of rescuing Chinky from the wizard Slap or something like that. I think his name's something like that. And so they've got to rescue Chinky, rescue the chair, and get home safely. This episode's called The Great Escape. Over to you, Tinker Quick.
Peter hurried from the Dimples' cottage, holding the pill in his hand that was to make Chinky as small as he was. Then they could all escape down the mouse hole. He ran down the hole and made his way to the cellar. He climbed up the steps to the kitchen. He peeped under the door. There was no one in the kitchen. He ran over the floor to the little room belonging to the cat. The big grey tabby was still in the basket, and Molly was there too, hiding safely under the thick fur. Good. Chinky is still upstairs with the enchanter, he whispered. Just at that moment, there came footsteps down the stairs, and the enchanter came in. The cat jumped out of the basket and went to greet him, rubbing against Clip-Clap's legs and purring loudly. Molly and Peter crouched down in the basket and tried to hide under the cushion, but alas, the enchanter saw them. "Aha! I thought I sniffed children," he said. He came over to the basket and looked down. "How small you are," he said. "I did not know there was such small children to be found. What have you got in your hand, little boy?" Oh dear, what Peter was holding so tightly was a little green and red pill that was to make Chinky small enough to go down in the mouse hole. Peter put his hand behind his back and glared at the tall enchanter, but it was no use. He had to show Clip-Clap what he had, and no sooner did the enchanter see the little green and red pill than Then he guessed what it was for. "Oh," he said, "so you made yourself small first, did you? And came in through a mouse hole, I guess, thinking to make Chinky small too, so that he might escape the same way. Well, I'll spoil all that. You shall grow big again, and you won't be able to creep down any mouse holes. You can stay here and help Chinky work for me." He tapped Molly on the head and then Peter. They shot up to their own size and stared. The Clip-Clap at Clip-Clap in alarm and dismay. What a horrid ending to all their plans. They had thought themselves so clever too. "Well," said Clip-Clap, looking at them, "you won't escape in a hurry now, I promise you. No one knows the secret of making the door come in this tower but me. Chinky, Chinky, come and see your fine friends now." Chinky came running down the stairs and stopped in the great dismay when he saw Peter and Molly, both their right size, standing in front of the enchanter. "So, you had all laid fine plans for your escape, had you?" said Clip-Clap. "Well, now you can just settle down to working hard for me and using those good brains of yours for my spells. Go and help Chinky to polish my bedroom floor, and after that you can clean all the silver wands I use for my magic." The three went upstairs very sadly and in silence. Chinky handed each child a yellow duster, and all three went down on their hands and knees and began to polish the wooden floor. "Don't say a word till we hear Clip-Clap go out again," whispered Chinky. "He has ears as sharp as a hare's." So nobody said a word until they heard the Clip-Clap crashing noise, and they knew what the enchanter had gone out again. Then they stood up and looked at one another. "What are we to do now?" groaned Peter. "Listen," said Chinky quickly. "I have a plan. Where's the wishing chair?" "Under a bramble bush outside the tower," said Peter. "But what's the good of that? We can't get out to it, and certainly the chair can't get in." "I'm not so sure of that," said Chinky. "You know that mouse you told me about, Dimple's servant? Well, if you could speak to her, Peter, and tell her to go to Dimple and tell her what's happened, she might be able to make the wishing chair small enough for Harriet to get it down the mouse hole and into the cellar. I know a spell to make it the right size, and then when Clip-Clap does his disappearing act and goes out through the tower door, we'll fly out too. See? Oh, Chinky, Chinky, you are clever," cried Molly in delight. "Peter, go down to the cellar and call Harriet. She may be somewhere about. If not, her auntie will surely be there." So Peter hurried down to the cellar and called Harriet. She wasn't there, but her auntie came, the brown mouse with spectacles on. Peter told her all that had happened and begged her to go and tell Dimple the elf. She hurried off at once, and Peter waited anxiously to see what would happen next. But Clip-Clap came back before anything else happened. He set the three to work polishing his magic wands, but took the magic out of them first. He wasn't going to have Chinky doing any magic with them, not he. After tea, Clip-Clap went out again, and Peter hurried down to the cellar. To his great delight, he found Harriet there, and just inside the mouse hole, she had their wishing chair. It was as small as a doll's house chair. "My auntie told me all that had happened," whispered Harriet. "I told Dimple, my mistress, and we found the wishing chair. Dimple made it small enough for me to take down the mouse hole. Here it is. Good luck." She pushed the tiny wishing chair out of the hole. Peter picked it up gladly and ran up the cellar steps with it. How glad Chinky and Molly were to see it. "Now," said Chinky, "I must make it big again." He felt in his pockets and took out a duster coloured yellow and green. It had a queer smelling polish in the middle in a great smear. Chinky began to polish the chair as hard as he could. As he polished it, it grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The children watched in amazement. At last it was its usual size. "Where shall we hide it?" asked Molly. "I say, don't let's hide it anywhere," said Peter suddenly. "What about us all getting into it and waiting till Clip-Clap comes back? Then, as soon as he opens the door to come in, we'll yell to the chair to fly out, and off we go. The enchanter won't know what's happening till it's too late to stop us." "That's a splendid idea," said Chinky at once. "We'll do it. Come on, get in. You two, the enchanter may be in at any moment. We must be ready." "The good old wishing chair still has its wings," said Molly thankfully. "Wouldn't it be awful if they weren't and we couldn't fly away?" "Don't say things like that in front of the chair," said Peter. "You know how silly it can be sometimes. Have you forgotten the time it landed squarely in the chimney?" "Shh," said Chinky. "I can hear Clip-Clap coming." Crash! The tower split into two, and a great door appeared in the slit. It opened and in strode Clip Clap, calling Chinky. "Hi Chinky, Chinky, home wishing chair, home," yelled Chinky. "Hello, Clip Clap, here I am." The chair rose up into the air, flew past the left ear of the astonishing enchanter and shot out of the door before Clip Clap could shut it. They were safely out in the wood again. "There's Dimple and Harriet below, waving like mad," said Peter. "Wave back, you two." They all waved to Dimple and Harriet and called goodbye. "We'll send them a postcard when we get back," said Chinky. "They were very good to help us." "Won't Clip Clap be angry to think we've escaped after all?" said Molly. "I say, oughtn't you to go and tell your mother you are safe," said Peter. "She was very worried about you." "I'll go tonight when you're both in bed," said Chinky. "I'll take you home safely first. My, what adventures we've all had since this morning. I'm not going to quarrel ever again," said Molly as the chair flew in at the playroom door. She jumped off and flung her arms around Chinky. "It was horrid when you didn't come back. I didn't mean what I said. You will always be our friend, won't you, Chinky?" "Of course," said Chinky, grinning all over his cheeky pixie face. "I would have come back the next day. I was just in a bad temper." "We all were. I'm sorry about it too," said Peter. "Anyway, we're all together again, friends as much as before." "You'd better run in and show your mother you're all right," said Chinky. "Mothers are such warriors, you know. You've not been in to tea, so yours will wonder if you're all right. Goodbye, Peter. Thanks so much for rescuing me." Peter and Molly ran off happily. Thank goodness everything was all right again. Good old wishing chair. What would they do without it?
What would they do without it? Indeed.
Honestly, if they didn't have it, what would be better? If they didn't have it, they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't have got into it.
They wouldn't go into the adventures, would they?
They wouldn't have met Chinky.
No. And as luck would have it, that 5 minutes of calm allowed me to remember what yesterday's quiz question was. I was wearing a hoodie that had a picture from the artist Charlie Makesy on it, and that was the quiz question. What was the the book written by Charlie Makesy, which was, do you know what it's called? The Boy...
Oh, yeah. The Boy and the Hare.
No.
Oh.
It's The Boy, something, something and something.
Oh, I don't know then.
No. The Horse, the Mole and the Fox.
I think
it's the other way around. The horse, I think it goes down in size order.
The horse?
No. The boy, the horse, the fox, and
the mole.
I think it's in that order. Right, okay. So Emily in a moment will go ping just after she said TTFN, and this will magically transform into a magic eye picture, which you have to freeze frame by pressing pause
On this YouTube video.
Work out what the animal is shown in the magic eye picture. So say TTFN.
Bye-bye and TTFN.
Right, now go ping.